Welcome to the right side. Our StreamYard isn't working. I'm pretty sure it's because it's my Wi-Fi, friends and neighbors. But good morning. It is Tuesday. We're up and not crying. I'm Allison. She's Amy Beth. I'm Amy Beth.
What's funny?
She's Allison. Bo is like womp. There it is on the ground. There's JP. We are the right side. There's a lot to get to today. A lot.
I like it a lot.
A lot.
Okay, we're up on. It's just your computer.
My computer is weird, and I need to know, JP, if you're ready with just to kick us off, because we've got the word of the day, probably the Gen Z word of the day. Actually, I shared the funny that you said about the strawberry cake with my mother-in-law and husband, and then they were just hilarious. So we've got that. We have a quick tour around Twix. We have a new little jammed in segment. So lean in, because we have a quick tour around Alabama in this segment. Then we have a guest in the 11 o'clock hour. But mainly, guys, it's one of your favorite segments of the week. We have Allegedly today. And there's a lot to allege. So also just turn it all the way up when we get there. Or maybe you want to turn it all the way up right now because you want to learn the word of the day and the Gen Z word of the day.
I got a Gen Z word of the day.
Sweet. You want to do it first?
I'm not exactly sure what it means, but you just said it.
Well, real quick, I got to say what I texted, because Amy Beth brought me strawberry cake because she's an angel yesterday from her mother-in-law that she made. And I texted her last night after I ate some, and I said, "This strawberry cake is bussin', no cap, high key hype."
You used it all.
I did.
Every single word of the day.
Every word.
Well, here's my word of the day that I think, because Amy Beth just said it. Turnt.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's good.
I think you said turned, but
I like turnt better.
turnt. What does turnt? That's a terror. Say that word. You know,
Turnt.
words sound weird when you start saying them,
Yeah.
like garage.
Turn.
That's weird.
Turnt it
What
up.
does turnt mean? Let's get turnt.
Synonym of crunk. It's like my generation's version of crunk. It just means it's like it used to be lit, getting lit, which has many different meanings, but mainly is just fun, hype. Hype's another synonym of it. It's just like having fun.
Wait a second.
Getting turned.
Am I today years old realizing that getting lit initially meant getting lit? Like,
Oh, it has that meaning too, yeah.
okay.
I don't. What's the
But I mean, you could.
what?
On the drugs, like lighten up for the marijuana.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm today years old figuring that out.
Okay, but normies still use it to say that they're just having fun.
Uh-huh.
you know?
We're not allowed to, because our children tell us when we use your phraseology, stop it. Stop
Adults
it.
do not use lit.
We don't. And we don't use
did.
turnt, but we will today. We're going to get turnt today.
It's like turned down for what?
I just know somebody's going to text me and go, stop, Mom.
Y'all, I was on the phone this morning and somebody used the word paragon. And I don't know if they watched the show or not, but they used it in a sentence. Like it was part of their everyday vernacular.
If you know, you know.
I never heard of it until Pudgy Paragon. So I
They
guess
said
that's a word.
paragon of virtue.
They were listening. They were listening.
I don't know, but they said it.
Well, guys, our word of the day, besides turnt, because the show is, we're going to get turnt up.
Turned up Tuesdays.
That yes,
It's twerking Tuesday.
Turned down for what Tuesdays?
You
Yes,
silly goose.
all of it. And I would really love, by the way, I think Bubba needs his own walkout music when he comes on.
What would
Sort of
that
have
be?
to, I don't know. Yippee yow yow yow, yippee yay yay yay. It's like some song like that. But or we can play Brick House just in honor of Betty, since she's a good dancer. But the word of the day today is going to be a word we can use.
That might have been an insult.
Wait, no, I don't mean that.
No. A brick house is that's a great
A
thing.
well-built woman.
Okay. I just was making
It's
sure.
an-
It doesn't mean you're a good dancer.
She's a well-built woman. She looks good.
Okay.
Okay. Girls can say that. Betty Bussey looks good, and she can dance.
She can dance. She was doing like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she was doing.
She done did it.
I just thought brick house was always an insult.
She's
to
a
women.
brick
No
house. No, she
you don't
looks
want
good.
a beanpole.
Mm-mm. No, she looks real good. That tennis player physique. Anywho, the
Say
word
pickle.
of the day, or pickle, the word of the day is probably a word we're going to need to use in conversation as we talk about the injunction being lifted, the maps, the redraw. But the word of the day today is remonstrate. It's a verb meaning to present and urge reasons in opposition to or in complaint. It often refers to arguing against, protesting, or complaining about something. And you say it as if it were Sesame Street. Remonstrate. 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 Like demonstrate, but remonstrate.
That's
He was eager to remonstrate against the new tax policy.
Yes. Complain against.
Montgomery is eager to remonstrate against a 7-0 map.
oops.
This is exactly what I mean.
All right, I'm writing it
This
down.
is the word in all caps, exclamation, jazz hands, and some sparkle glitter above it. Montgomery will probably be quick to remonstrate against a 7-0 map. I don't know why. We hinted at it yesterday. We mean no disrespect to our leaders. We're just citizens watching from the outside, but we expect that they will remonstrate against a 7-0 map. That's just the way it seems to go. So I thought that's a pretty awesome word of the day for us,
That's a good one.
my friends.
That was fortuitous.
You, my friend,
Look at you.
are
Is
a
that right?
paragon of lexicon.
Thank you. Thank you, JP.
What am I a paragon
A
of?
virtue.
You are a
Close.
you are a paragon of gossip,
I'll take
She-
it.
You know what?
I'll
among
take
other
it.
things, but
She knows stuff.
chief among maybe gossip. You also
People underestimate me. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
And I'll look at the camera and say it. Don't underestimate me. I have people everywhere. I know so much more. And it's funny because you wouldn't think it, but I'm actually a really good secret keeper because I hear.
I'm kidding.
she laughed immediately.
kidding.
I am a great.
You
secret
are
keeper.
actually a great
Keeple.
secret keep. She's a
Secret
great
keeper.
secret keeper.
Winsy Graham.
And I would like to just Allison's face framed in. Just picture it, guys. Just picture it as a director here, okay?
Okay.
Allison Sinclair's face, and I would hope mine as well, and JP. Like you see us, but we're gonna let our dear leader have this one. The statement is, underestimate me. That'll be fun.
Bruh.
Come at her, bruh.
Yeah.
So that is undergirding all of our conversation today. Yes, we're thinking of Sinclair when we say that, but really we're thinking of all of us because you feel that way too. You feel underestimated, but that's the theme of the day today. Underestimate us. That'll be fun.
That was fun, actually. I think people they think of us one way, partly because we present ourselves that way as well. But we are not your average media company. We never have wanted to be. We've never wanted to be like them. But we also I just some things I'm hearing this morning.
Hold on, I need to put my interviewer cap on.
Yeah.
Mrs. Sinclair, why don't you?
Wait. Do we want to get out in front of it now, or we say?
Well, no, I'm just asking questions, and I got to pretend like I'm doing the interview, like we're in the field. Miss Sinclair, what is it that you're hearing?
I just am hearing there was a phone call last night.
Okay.
With some people up in the DCs of Washington's.
Okay.
and some people in the Montgomery area, like, use your imagination.
Okay.
There was a phone call that was a little tense
Was it?
because allegedly Montgomery is not really wanting to play ball in some areas.
Wait. What do you mean by not wanting to play ball, Miss Sinclair?
I just think there is think through, well, this whole redistricting map thing is not as straightforward as it appears.
It's not?
Y'all, I finished Bridgerton last night, like finished all 4 seasons, so I'm channeling Lady Whistledown if y'all don't.
Please do.
She put out the gossip column but she knew all the things. Like she saw and knew everything. And I feel very Lady Whistledown, but there's some resistance in Montgomery, I think, towards even talking about a 7-0 map. And I think I know why. I'm hearing a lot of rumors as to why, but it's going to be interesting to see what Montgomery actually decides to do. And if they don't act and you don't hear your legislators talking about 7-0 and wanting to go 7-0 with what came down, which I guess we should talk about, the injunction was lifted by Clarence Thomas in the Supreme Court yesterday. But there's a reason why you're not hearing those conversations happen.
Why? Well, like, why are they not? What's the reason?
I'm not going to say.
Okay.
I don't think I can. I think I know why, and I'm hearing a few different possibilities, but I think I've landed on what I think is happening. But all I want to say right now is there is a reason you are not hearing from Montgomery. You're not hearing from really any of your legislators talking about a 7-0 map. So you need to start asking questions. You need to start reaching out. If that's what you want. Maybe Alabama is really happy with the 6-1. They want us to be really happy with 6-1. I do know that. But I'm just saying there's a reason you need to start digging in and asking some questions and finding out for yourself. And I don't know where it will lead you, but it has led me to a place where I think I understand, because none of it really makes sense. You go back to the beginning, 7-0, 7-0, Tommy Tuberville, Morgan Murphy, 7-0, Steve Marshall did come out yesterday and say something about
He's
7-0.
been incredible on this.
Yeah. And so, but then all that went completely silent, and you heard a little bit from the legislature. Funny, they all were on a self-imposed gag order too. So we just really can't talk about it. Nothing is ever what it appears. So do some digging, find out for yourself. I'm just here to say Montgomery.
And I can't believe I played the optimist yesterday.
You did play the optimist, but we need you.
We need you to play the optimist, but I learned when I ran for office that it was very hard to explain to people what you've just said. It is never as it appears. And we are always, speaking of always, and we are the people elected to serve us in Montgomery. We are always far more compromised, but covered by our delightful push cards that promise one thing. And then when push comes to shove and it's time to light the fire and send our arrows out into the universe to light it up and take care of business, we're stuck on simmer. We're always simmering. We're never like actually acting when it really counts. And then on the other side, and this is just from my experience, I could be so wrong. I'm wrong every day. But then what happens is the people we elected to serve us get mad that you're even asking questions or saying, it could be different. And they're like, you don't understand. You just don't even know. Maybe not. But we're observing, and each time push comes to shove when we really need big things to happen. Take Common Core, for example. I'm just throwing that out there. It's been around forever. When the votes were there to kick it out and handle it, we didn't do that because we don't understand what it's really like. I have a feeling we're back here again, where we don't really understand because we're not being allowed to see. But we do understand that people in Montgomery are far more compromised than we would like to admit. And that part
She said it.
makes it so unfreaking believably selfish that we wouldn't do what's right because we're owned by poor choices. And at some point, the emotional abuse has to stop when you're in those kinds of relationships and you go, I'm done. You can say what you want about me, but I'm going to actually do the right thing come what may. Or can we not even do that anymore? And we're just faking all of this. I don't know. But that's what I learned from running for office. It's never as it seems. We're far more compromised than we ever understand. We may really like and appreciate our elected officials, but that means diddly squat when we need them to move on these. We're always forever standing on the precipice of opportunity, and then we run back to the house. I'm so tired of that.
Yeah, I think, and that's the problem with blackmail or extortion or whatever you want to call it. It never ends. You know, it's always, if you run from it the first time and give in, you're probably going to do it the rest of the time, and then you're just in this circular firing squad.
Yeah.
And then the people of Alabama are the ones that get screwed.
Yeah, we're screwed every time. It doesn't seem to matter because it's rules for thee, but not for me. And so we are. We and you know, I was listening to Titus 3 this morning, and it talked about divisive people. It also was listening on the way in to somebody else talking about Romans, and when you walk away from truth, you believe lies. You're easily deceived. You're easily led. And so part of this is a spiritual issue. And maybe some of it is people need to fess up some things that they've done. And that may leave us in a terrible place, but it's far better to come clean and be honest than it is to be owned, because we all see y'all being owned. It's not like we don't know. My goodness, our spiritual gift as mothers is doing better investigative work than the FBI.
So true. And I was about to say, I'm not talking about the people out there that think they're investigators that have like the sticky notes and the red lines, you know, and think they're connecting all the dots when there's really nothing there. I'm talking about the people that have like photos, not AI photos, but photos and video and records. Those are the people. Yes, there are some people that think they're onto something and they are just not. But there are some people that have the receipts and they use the receipts. And it is it's one of those things that if you think really hard, you can usually figure it out.
It's just like Scott Beeson taught us. I mean, this isn't anything new.
Oh gosh, he used to tell us stories.
He taught us that, like, thank you, Scott. But then I learned when I ran for office. Scott validated what I learned. So we're just offering our observations with respect and with charity, but somebody's got to be able to just put it out there. Y'all can decide for yourselves. And our elected officials, feel free to answer us. Tell us we're absolutely wrong and we're bat crap crazy. That's fine.
That'd be awesome.
It'd be great. But time and again, you learn to observe patterns. And past patterns are a predictor of future behavior. So we're just observing patterns.
By the way, if we want to get to Yammer, we're going to have to get it in like the next minute or two.
Okay, let's go.
But
I do want to say real quick, freshman legislators, if you're coming in and you win a primary and you win, if they ask you to go to a foreign country, say no. It's my pro tip of the day.
I'll say this too. I think I've got a new tagline for the show after what we just talked about.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, what is it?
We are the power. Alabama power. I think that's us.
That's good.
We're the Alabama power.
That's good.
Strings, red strings.
Wait.
And pictures and post-it notes. CSI.
Clip that.
They just admitted it.
They're not even hiding it
Why
anymore.
did you do that, JP? God, it was such a secret.
Okay. And on to Yammer.
It's a new segment.
Yes.
We're going to yammer away.
Am I going first?
Is that what? We're going to have to ask Grayson. What does he want us to do? He doesn't even know we're doing this.
No, he doesn't.
Hey,
He's gonna be
Grayson,
so
this is
excited.
for you. An Alabama power. today.
Yammer,
Take
yammer,
it
yammer,
as you
yammer,
will.
Yammer, 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 yammer.
All right. First up, new poll, Barrymore leads U.S. Senate field with Jared Hudson close behind. This is from Yellowhammer. Now just a week away from the election, the latest statewide poll of Alabama GOP primary voters shows U.S. Rep. Barrymore from Enterprise leading the field for Senate, with former U.S. Navy SEAL Jared Hudson not far behind. Down the ballot, Secretary of State Wes Allen showed a commanding edge for Lieutenant Governor, and Katherine Robertson, not Robinson, opened up a double-digit lead in the race for Attorney General, according to the poll. However, and this is a big however, undecided voters remain the majority in every contest. The survey was conducted by Remington Research Group from May the 5th to the 7th, 2026, including 589 likely Republican voters. Interesting. 1 week out, guys.
I'm a bit surprised at Robertson with the double, because there's been a lot of conflicting polls about Robertson and her being like way behind, and then this one had her a double-digit lead. So I don't know. Also, I think the Senate race is getting closer by the day. It's crazy.
Agree.
I think we're having a runoff personally.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think that's exactly next Tuesday night. We'll see that you are correct. So that's what AB has. What you got, JP?
Allison, do you want to go first?
No, we were going girl, boy, girl.
That's right. Well, the big news.
I'm serious. That's what we decided on.
That's true. I forgot. The big news, obviously, the U.S. Supreme Court cancels race-based redistricting in Alabama. We've talked about it briefly already, and we're going to talk about it more after the montage. But this is a article from Grayson Everett at Yellowhammer. The U.S. Supreme Court handed Alabama a sweeping victory Monday afternoon in the long-running fight over the state's congressional map, vacating the lower court injunction in Allen versus Milligan, Allen versus Castor, and Allen versus Singleton. Judges sent all three cases back to the federal district court that in 2023 ultimately drew the state a district all but guaranteed to elect a Democrat. So this was the the injunction that we've been waiting to be uplifted to draw a 7-0 map. The question is, well, do they want to? And I don't think the answer is yes anymore, unfortunately. But that is the big news. The SCOTUS did their job. Steve Marshall did his job, which we'll talk more. He's in the montage too. But that is the big news. I mean, the Supreme Court did act quickly and is giving the legislature all the tools to do a 7-0. And we'll see.
I'm kind of laughing at myself because I just realized, I was like, who is this Allen guy and why is he in all?
Who could that be?
Okay. Anywho, perfect segue because we didn't coordinate this, but I wanted to read Steve Marshall's statement that he put out last night because it's the only one that came out and said anything else about 7-0. And I mad respect for him for doing that. He said Alabama originally drew its maps around geography and communities, the Gulf Coast, the Black Belt, the Wiregrass, and a federal court punished us for it. Today, the Supreme Court vindicated the state's long-held position. Now the power to draw Alabama's maps goes back to the people's elected representatives. That's our legislature. For too long, unelected federal judges have had more to say over Alabama's elections than Alabama's voters. That ended today. My job in this office was to put the legislature in the best possible legal position to draw a congressional map that favors Republicans. 7-0.
Awesome.
What more do we need? What more do we need?
And you know what? And that's in the montage, so we can talk about more later. But that honestly may have been a little bit of a Steve Marshall CYA of, I did my job.
But that's what you do. He
Right.
had an
Right,
opportunity. He's running for the U.S. Senate. His poll numbers are surging after this. And he is seizing the opportunity to at least put himself out there on the record for 7-0. And Montgomery, the rest of them have no kaputza.
Yep.
Kaputza.
Chutzpah.
Chutzpah.
I felt like that was really good. Chutzpah.
To do that. Y'all will be back with the montage and more news.
Welcome back to the right side. And let's be honest, this is the moment you've tuned in for, isn't it? I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair. JP's keeping us together today behind the scenes, but we're thrilled and honored to be joined by Speaker of the House, Nathaniel Ledbetter, and Chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, and Representative Scott Stothagen from Hartselle, Rainsville, right?
Yeah, that's
You're
right.
Rainsville.
I'm Rainsville.
You're Hartselle.
It's good to
Okay.
be here.
I wish we had more time to tell you that my dad used to moonlight at the hospital there, and I got to spend the night in the little call room. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's safe to say a lot has happened over the last couple of weeks, and this might not be what people expected, is the two of y'all sitting down right here with us. Talk us through how we got here.
Well, certainly good to be here with you guys. Thank you for having us, and certainly good here to be with the new chairman of the party. And Scott and I have had a lot of discussion over the last week since he's got elected, and he certainly has my full support. I think he's going to do a really good job, and look forward to his leadership. And I think he can bring the party together in a way that maybe somebody else couldn't. So I congratulate him on that position.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here. Thank you guys for having us on. I think it's an exciting moment from here for Alabama with the House of Representatives, our caucus, and the party coming together, and looking forward to the work that we're going to have going in the future. And it's exciting for tomorrow.
Talk to us real quickly about the party for now. Does it feel united behind you? Are you feeling good about where you're going and how everybody is lined up behind you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have already hit the ground running. Matter of fact, yesterday we had a meeting with all the county chairmen, kind of seeing what their needs are and what's working, what's not working. So we're literally starting from the bottom, working our way up. But the biggest thing is a team, like we have with our caucus, working as a team, and then we're going to unite that gap between the party and the legislature for us to work together, because we're all Republicans, right? So I think it's going to be a very interesting, unique situation. I'm looking forward to it.
Talk to us, if you would please, sir, about the caucus and where everybody is right now and what you guys would like to do over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think the caucus is in a good position. I mean, we had a very good meeting last week, and we just need to go forward. That's what we told the caucus, and now's the time to move forward, and they're doing that. We'll have some strong legislation coming up today. The closed primary passed out of the committee, so we'll have it on the floor Thursday. That's a speaker's pick. I'm going to pick it for Thursday, so we'll get to see it on the floor. So I think we got a lot of good legislation out there, some of it in the Senate that we've passed through the House, some of it vice versa. So certainly got to get the budgets out. Passed the ETF off the floor last week. Look to get the general fund the week after spring break. So we'll kind of finish up some things we got going, but it's going well. I think the people of Alabama be proud of the work together with the House and the Senate, and with the governor's office. So we hope to continue that and look forward to finishing up strong.
I'm curious, this question is for both of y'all, so you'll have to pass the mic back and forth, but whoever wants to answer it first, how do you view what is the proper role and partnership between the caucus and the party? There's been lots of debate about that, how much influence each should have going forward. How do you feel about the relationship?
Well, I will say, Scott and I have talked about that already, and he's got an idea that I support of getting me and the pro tem and the governor-elect together and sitting down and looking at some bills that we can all agree on. I don't think we've ever done that before, Scott, and I think it's a smart idea and gets us all on the same page. And I think that's being really proactive and trying to choose legislation that not only the party would like, but the people of Alabama.
Yeah, really excited about next quadrennium and next session, just to see us come together and work together as a team, because we're all Republicans. We have the same beliefs, right? So having that with legislation and party coming together, and hopefully, the bill package that we present to the governor, pro tem, and the speaker, we get that through, and we're really going to have like a Republican Day at the Capitol, and we're going to have all the state executive members there, and that night hopefully celebrate. And it's going to be a celebration for Republicans throughout the whole entire state, and I'm looking forward to it. So, and as far as our caucus members go, they're Republicans, conservative. We're literally one of the most conservative bodies in the United States. So we're hand in hand moving forward.
Speaker Ledbetter, this question is for you. We kind of talked to some people because over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of discussion about leadership. There's been some transitions about some of the, asking people what the main complaints against leadership or you in the Speaker's office specifically. One of the issues that came up repeatedly was just the push for gambling, which I think is just kind of across the board. One person said, though, that too often the priority seems to go to bills backed by special interests or those closest to leadership rather than allowing a fair, open process where conservative priorities rise naturally. What do you say to those criticizing you and the agenda of leadership? Because if you look, you have passed some really conservative things over the past quadrennium.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the record of this last quadrennium, I mean, it doesn't.
Hello and welcome back to the Right Side. I am Amy Beth. She's Allison. He's JP. And my sister-in-law just asked for a number and we'll happily give it out. It's for the State House. And I'm actually going to program it in my phone if it's not there already. But the number is 334-261. Is yours 0505?
No,
Or is it-
that's
that's
a
a different
speaker's
one.
number. Don't
call that
well,
number.
you can call that number.
Which one do you
You'll
call?
get- I have 334-261-0500.
Zero. Okay.
But
Say it
that
again.
one says 334-261-0600.
Okay.
You know what? Just call any number. I'm sure you'll get someone. Maybe not. Because honestly, they don't have a ton of support staff and they're all on vacation right now. And they really don't want to go back to Montgomery because they just left. We ended session, then we had to go back for a week.
It's so hard. And the other thing you can do is find your legislator and find them literally on Facebook, on the socials. They all have social media, Twitter, Facebook, Insta. Find your person and message them. Please, first of all, you got to let the governor know we need another special session, number one, for anything to happen. But number two, please draw so that we have a 7-0 map and let them know that's what you're looking for. Obviously, we're not going to do it in all caps, which would be my instinct. We're not going to do that.
Wait. I look what's on the screen. I just did it in all
Oh,
caps.
wait, we can't see it.
Oh yeah, because it's.
Because Meemaw.
But I'm so happy.
Is that number correct too, by the way, when you get there?
That's what I have as the Alabama House switchboard in my phone.
Yeah. Just ask them for your person and say you would like for your elected official to vote for. You expect a 7-0 map. That's what you expect, and that's all. But also reach out on social media. Ask friends and family across the state to do the same thing. Ask them for a 7-0 map. And you'll be watching and thank them in advance for doing a 7-0 map. But I'm so glad my sister-in-law asked how we get in touch. It's just a great question. Is he?
Bo's having
Bo
a
dreaming?
dream.
He's dreaming of a 7-0 map.
He is. He's talking to those legislators on the phone
That's
right
what
now.
he's
He's
doing.
like, dude, get it together. During the break, I came across something on Twitter that is funny because we were just saying Steve Marshall was the only one that came out still saying the word 7-0. But Barry Moore, who is running for U.S. Senate, current congressman, put out a tweet, a video, and I wanted to play it. Pretty impressive.
Everybody, good morning. Congressman Barry Moore getting ready to fly back to D.C. I was a member of Congress in Alabama that lost his seat because they drew districts based on race. And the Livingston map was the map that got thrown out. So last week, in light of what happened in Louisiana, our legislature went into a special session and adopted a map they had already drawn. It was my understanding that that was the only map we had time to get together. But with the Supreme Court lifting the injunction yesterday and talking to some people that I know, there might be an opportunity for time to go in and have another special session and go in and draw a 7-0 map. And if that's the case, I'd encourage Governor Ivey and the legislature to do that. When they were in session last week, I was talking to some of my friends. I'm like, if we can get to 7-0, let's get to 7-0. But with the Supreme Court lifting the injunction as soon as they did, as quick as they did, on the heels of our legislature drawing those maps, there might be enough time. So I would encourage my guys, my friends in Montgomery, Kay Ivey, the governor, and the members, if we can get a 7-0 map, let's do it. God bless you guys. Y'all have a great day.
Here's the thing. And I didn't plan on talking about this today, but since Barry put that out, Steve Marshall put that out, I haven't heard from Jared Hudson. I don't know where he stands on any of this, but I texted with some legislators yesterday, and when you have these conversations and throughout the past few weeks talking to them about going 7-0, they act like you're asking for like to grow a third eye or a second head. Like they look at you like you're an idiot. They respond to you like you're stupid, and like you just don't know what's going on. Okay, well, I do have a brain, and I can go, you know what? You're all there in Montgomery. You were there for 5 days and you went in for just like a little short time each day. We've already summoned you for 5 days. So maybe let's spend a day. Again, this is what my research, serious research told me. At 2/3 vote, they could take up new matters. You're like, you know what? Why don't we work on a 7-0 map? We're all here. We may not be able to use it. Maybe we don't present it. Maybe the injunction isn't lifted. But while we're just sitting around, all having drinks and dinner after the session of an hour, then why don't we spend some of that time coming up with a 7-0 map just to be proactive for our citizens? But no, everybody looks at you like you're a dinghy and have no clue what you're talking about. We're not that stupid. Stop treating us like we are. We're really not. And it's not as difficult as y'all dingle dips want to make it out to be. Just do the right thing. And that's what I think is so crazy, is that all these maps that were drawn before are still racist. They were still drawn when that amendment second VRA. Oh, by the way, hold on, squirrel. Did y'all see in Clarence Thomas's writing yesterday where he talked about a writ of censure?
Really?
What?
Yeah, you know the word I was trying to come up with?
Worcestershire?
Yes.
Worcestershire?
He talks about that in the very first sentence. So I knew what I was talking. My point is, we know what we're talking about, even though it doesn't seem like it sometimes. Yes. He says, I am lifting the writ of Worcestershire.
I'm so glad he did.
Okay. Point being, y'all just stop acting like we're dumb and don't know what we're doing. And then we're asking you to like move mountains. We're just asking you to do your job and to actually be the people you said you were going to be when you went to Montgomery. That's all.
Well,
It's not that difficult.
I think it boils down to what we've alluded to. They don't want to. Like, it's not they don't know they can. It's not an incompetence. I mean, some it may be. I don't know. But it's a they don't want to. And then your initial thought is, okay, well, then is it laziness? With some, I think it is. But unfortunately, the red pill may be they don't want to because they are against doing it. And then you have to go, well, why is that? Why are they against the 7-0 map? Why are they acting like Democrats? And then that's a whole different rabbit trail. But now you have to confront the reality that I think a lot of Alabamians don't realize, is that the Republicans are not actually fighting for conservative values, and they are actively fighting against it. And that is the unfortunate reality, I think, with a lot of them. So some of them, is it laziness? Sure, but they're actively fighting against it. And that's the unfortunate reality.
And I know there's going to be lawsuits, and I know there's going to be all the things. There always is all the things. But at some point, it is as simple as Allison said, please just do what we sent you there to do. Your people will have your back. It is time to do away with people doing their job, being accused of being racist, when actually it is the most unracist thing to do to draw maps fairly and squarely. But this is going to hang over our head, much like being lured into doing things you don't really want to do because somebody has something on you. This is no different than that. So please just get after it and do a 7-0 map and let the chips fall where they may. Far better to do a 7-0 and end up with the 6-1 than not to try it all because you're scared of what somebody might say or do. Okay. But fear is powering your decision. And when you are seen through, it makes you mad. Okay. Well, that means you're convicted, not us. We already know what we think. That means you're convicted about not doing what's right. So quit hiding behind all the subterfuge and obtuse and vague things and just do your job. Do it. Please.
That
Just do it.
is such a, and that's something that I think I'm picking up on, is that they are so scared of the fallout from this. Like, literally, one of the things I'm hearing is that they're like, oh, Birmingham will be set on fire. There'll be riots. It'll be George Floyd.
Give me a
Like,
break.
it'll be whatever. We can't do that. Nobody will want to come to Alabama. Our economy will collapse. The workforce won't come. We won't get other businesses here. What?
So-
What? I mean, because then you look at Florida. Florida is all out, all in, and their economy is booming. And then I go, we're not in 1980 politics anymore. Like, we are save the republic. Like, if you don't step up for principle and strong stances, we are losing to the Marxists and the communists and the socialists. I mean, look at our schools. And if our legislators down there are so unaware or so compromised that they can't do that, you need to step down and just move on and let somebody else do the job, because we can't act like we're still back in like Reagan, Bush days. No, this is absolute war, and you aren't willing to battle. So just go.
Booker T. Washington said, reformation, not revolution. We're for reformation. That's all this is. We're reforming our government. And isn't that what conservatism is about? Is reformation and preserving, but not revolution. And you know what? He also said in his autobiography that forcing something to be so is the worst thing that could happen. Fight for it, but don't force it. And we've been forced to live by arbitrary maps based on the very thing Black Americans said they did not want to happen, based on the color of your skin and not the content of their character. So treat them like they say they wanted to be treated, and me included. Draw it based on freedom, fairness, liberty, period. But please stop letting fear power you into becoming powerless. Please.
Pretty please?
Pretty please. With the cherry on top.
I mean, what's it going to take?
I don't know. But like, we're for you guys. We really are. This is the kindest thing we could do, is to ask you to do what's right, because we're bound by the truth and nothing else. And truth is God. And God is truth. That's what we're bound by. And that's the standard. That's all. It's not hard.
I just can't believe, and they must all really be bound by something. I don't know what it is, because I cannot believe some of the legislators that are in just a week coming up against their incumbents, and they have a primary challenger that is very formidable. Some of these people in the Senate and the House are going to lose. The incumbents are going to lose, or they are on the cusp. It's a very close race, and they will not come out and at least just say the words again, even if it's just symbolic and for show. Like, I'm really baffled by that one. Like, you have the softball pitch down the middle. You just have to hit it. And it's like, I'm trying, I've said it so many times, like, I'm trying to save you, like, this is what the people want. I know you don't really care about the people that much. You care about your special interests and what's going into your campaign coffers. But like, this is what the people want. If you want to win, you'll listen to us. But they won't even listen. They won't even do it. And that has me baffled. Like, something serious is happening down there. And I think I know what it is, but it's just really weird. Like, they won't even. And then I go, you know what? God, yeah, I hope you lose. That's what I'm thinking today.
Ooh,
A newbie would be better than you.
wow. I mean, look at Indiana.
Yeah.
Look at Indiana.
You think you're so cool, that's not going to happen here?
Listen, and I know there's fear over burning things down, but burning things down actually proves the point.
Yeah. I mean,
We've bought into a lie since MLK, actually since before that. And I'm going to be breaking that down over the next couple of weeks. I'll spread it out. We're actually going to try to get Chad Jackson on because there's some education that needs to take place because plenty of us bought into lies about what actually happened. And we cannot live, what's the title of the book? Live Not by Lies. Your decision to go 7-0 also means you're putting a stake in the ground to say, I'm not going to live by lies anymore. I'm not going to be bound by what was not true. And it's emotional abuse for somebody to say, but this could happen if you do this. That means you're owned by the people who are trying to instill fear in you versus the regulars, the normies that are asking you to do what's right. Come what may, do what's right. This is a time for like swarthy men and women to go, heck yeah, let's do this. The men and women who built this country, we want that. This is what we're pleading with you for. Please.
Pretty please.
We gotta get to the montage.
All right, let's go.
Blackwood News.
Court order blocking Alabama from pursuing new congressional maps. The practical impact of that decision is that Alabama can move forward with redistricting efforts, having passed new maps on Friday. That sets the stage for Alabama to get rid of one of two largely black congressional districts before this year's midterm elections.
For years, federal courts have forced Alabama to draw its congressional and legislative maps around race. My job in this office was to put the legislature in the best possible legal position to draw a congressional map that favors Republicans 7-0.
I stand up here in front of you not only as a mom of two, but also as someone who lives in the great state of Alabama, where about 28% of women live in a current maternal care desert. The work that we did in the Working Families Tax Cuts, guys, that hits it head on. We have an opportunity now to reach those who haven't been reached.
As President Trump has said, and the facts clearly bear out, the United States of America holds all the cards. But our preference is for these straits to be opened to the way they're supposed to be open, back to the way it was. Anyone can use it, no mines in the water, nobody paying tolls. That's what we have to get back to, and that's the goal here.
And when I was talking to the president this morning, it was just before the Oval Office event, he kind of surprised me a little bit because he said, John, I just want to tell you, I'm very serious about this. So you can talk about this. I'm serious about beginning a process to make Venezuela the 51st state.
John needs a haircut.
He does need a haircut.
Yo, we don't have much time left. This one part from Katie Britt in the Oval Office was, I don't know if y'all saw this clip. I was stunned because obviously we've seen in the past with the, what's it, Wall Street Journal or one of the New York Times, somebody that did that article with Katie Britt about the ICE boy who was detained. Listen to this exchange with Trump and Katie Britt in the Oval Office yesterday.
Supporting the journey of American moms at every stage is so important to the success of our nation. I'd now like to ask Senator Katie Britt. She's the one that got me into this, I have to tell you. I hope she always remains loyal to me so I can continue to support her. I would hate to go against her. That will never happen, Katie, right?
That's right, sir.
But to say...
What?
That's crazy.
Okay. All right. Wow. This day is, it's true.
And she said, yes, sir. But he put her on black, like on.
Oh my gosh.
Because, you know, there was the rumors, what was it? CNN said something about how behind closed doors, he said, you know, she's dead to him and he's done with her now after she put up that post after the video with Obama and Michelle Obama, their faces on the monkeys. And she was one of the two that wanted him to take it down on top of the New York Times article or whoever. And CNN with their sources said Trump was like, I'm done with her. But they said that publicly.
Wow.
With her there. Trump is not stupid.
No.
That was purposeful.
So I'd like to just throw a little fuel into the fire. Like I'm excited about the, you know, just talking about moms, great. because we know that, like C.S. Lewis says, basically motherhood is the work that exists so all other work can take place. I'm paraphrasing the great Clive Staples, but that's what he says. So this highlight is fantastic. However, when we're talking about maternal deserts in Alabama, I think she said 29% of women live in a maternal desert. We also, though, need to address what led to those maternal deserts, what big insurance problems, and we know big insurance is a massive problem, led to having maternal deserts in Alabama. I just, with respect, throwing that out there.
I can't even think about maternal deserts after that. It's going to take me a minute. We're going to break soon, right?
Yeah, about 2 minutes.
I just wonder what happened. Do you really think? Hold on. I do want to talk about maternal deserts. First of all, I need a definition of a maternal desert.
They can't get to care.
Like there's no moms?
Well,
no, there are moms, but maternal care desert,
I'm
meaning
kidding.
they have to travel pretty far to get health care. And so my question is what big practices by big insurance and big hospitals led to making the decisions to close?
Yeah, no, you're right.
You know,
yeah.
Well, we have 10 minutes for Stewart on the other side if we want to get to it.
Okay.
Instead of 2 minutes.
we could even ask Stewart about it. Anywho,
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, I mean, it's. So are you telling me we can't talk?
Well, no, I'm just saying I didn't know if you wanted to wait to get into it because we got about a minute.
Well, I don't really have much to say except that it is an issue, but it's because big pharma, big hospital, big doctor. Like I so want to go back to the day where, there was just the little internist, the little family doctor that treated your whole family. And you walked in and he's like, "Oh, how was Aunt B's lunch yesterday?" And he sat down and he talked, and it wasn't like in and out in 15 minutes because I got to clock this many people or insurance gets mad at me. And it's like, why somebody in our orbit yesterday had to go to the emergency room. Was in the emergency room. They're keeping him overnight, actually for 2 nights, but like couldn't get in a room for about 14 hours. And you're like, we're in the United States of, I thought, America, where we are saying and supposed to be the best of the best. That is not the way you take care of your people. I don't know why you're laughing. Why?
No, I'm not laughing. I'm adding to what you're saying. But did you know that like 90% of all practices are now owned by the hospitals? So it's the hospitals dictating policy. So we're in a mess, and we do well to untangle ourselves from all of that. My dad was in the ER last week for 3 hours waiting. He's fine. 3 hours.
Yeah,
like that shouldn't be. It's so inefficient.
Unacceptable.
Privatize everything, please. But this is ridiculous. Is your person going to be okay?
I think so. I'll keep you posted.
Okay.
We will be back with some more news and Stewart Tankersley, who's running for lieutenant governor, on the other side.
Just look at what's been passed. There's no question this is the most conservative quadrennium this state's ever had, period. If you look at my record as speaker and majority leader, it's the most conservative the state's ever had. I mean, all you got to do is look at what we've passed. If it's DEI, or if it's, the Choose Act or whatever, which we led the charge on helping getting that passed. It was a pick. And a lot of things with Scott passed, the boys and girls bathroom thing. I mean, this has been the most conservative 4 years that we've had. And as far as the special interest group, they all stay in my office and they'd know more about what they're talking about. Because there was 2 of them in there Friday, and I told them no. And one of them was Alpha on an ambulance bill that I think could serve rural Alabama very well. And the same thing with Blue Cross and those people. We tell them no more than we tell them yes. And so I think people that says that need to probably work a little bit harder to figure out what is going on, and they wouldn't have to make statements like that.
So then on the heels of that question, what did it mean to have 75 members of the House, Tuberville, support you?
It's humbling. I mean, it really is. I didn't ask for that. I mean, they did that on their own. And of course, Coach has been a friend of mine for a long time. I chaired his U.S. Senate race. And so, but to have that many members and Scott being one of them that signed that document, it was very humbling. I mean, it really was. And, the thing about it is, I think it's easy sometimes for people to say negative stuff about people they don't know. And the problem with that is it doesn't just affect the person you're talking about, it affects their family, whether it's their grandkids or their wife or their kids. And sometimes I think we have to be mindful of that. So, to see after on the backside of it, to see that and to see our members come together and support me, it's really, really humbling.
It's hard. It is hard being on the outside. We're not privy to a lot of the discussions that are had in the halls, and hopefully this can be kind of a transition point of inflection for Alabama, for the legislature, for the party, for the people. And that's a question I have for both of y'all. Is this a turning point for the state of Alabama? It felt a little bit like crossing the Delaware. We were like, oh, we're in new territory. And then being here today, I mean, this is huge to see y'all sitting down together, kind of tackling this head on. I know the people of Alabama will appreciate that. But moving forward, and you mentioned a little bit plans to open up discussions. What can you expand a little bit more on that? How is this different, and how are we going to put this behind us?
Yeah, so I mean, our caucus has always been together, right? So we are a team. We're kind of like an executive session when we're in caucus. So the things that we discuss and things we talk about are with us and our team. As far as moving forward in the future, I think, with the party members of ALGOP and then our caucus, I mean, once again, we're all Republicans. We're all on the same team. Some of us serve at a different capacity than others. Some are more vocal than others in the party side. And we've got to respect different personalities. Y'all just had Ernie Yarbrough on the show, for crying out loud. He's a different personality, right? So he is very passionate about his beliefs. And you just got different. It's like a family, you've got different personalities in your family. And I think moving forward, I'm extremely excited about tomorrow. I really am, because I think it's going to be something that our state has never seen before. The leadership in this body, and then also leadership in our party, we are literally going to bridge that gap that literally we have never seen before. And I just cannot wait till it happens.
So, staying with you, sir.
Oh, okay.
Just real quick. Sorry.
Next time we're going to be sure and get you a smaller microphone.
That's okay.
The only thing that would have made it better is like a little fuzzy dice, making it look like that.
I think it's supposed to sit on top of it.
It is. And
can y'all not afford those either, man? Come on.
We can. This turned around so quickly, and we're so glad to be here that you gotta, we're making do.
Yes.
Okay. These are awesome. I've always wanted these little lapel mics. I'm just saying. Why did you want to run for ALGOP chairman?
Yeah, so it never was on my radar, to be honest. I don't personally believe in titles. I believe in making an impact, the biggest impact I can. And there were certain things that took place after several phone calls and laying in bed. My wife and I were just talking about, and your spouse is your best friend, and you talk about things with her. And she looked and she said, I think you would be a really good party chairman. Like, that's in your wheelhouse. And I was like, I think I would like that, and prayed about it. And honestly, once I decided to run, and literally everything was falling in place, and that's why I feel like when you're on God's path, things just naturally happen. You're not fighting against the grain on things. But that's really it. It wasn't on my radar whatsoever. And when we decided to do it, everything just literally fell in place. And I knew it was God's plan for me to do this.
I guess we touched a little bit about some of the things that under your leadership have happened in the House: tax cuts, school choice, tough on crime.
Welcome back to the Right Side. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP, just chewing on all the things in regards to redistricting.
Like good heifers.
Exactly. I can already see our first hat. It's going to be fantastic.
So heifery.
Yeah. Just a heifery heifer.
That woke Bo up. I think he heard the heifers.
I think he did. Look at his fluffy butt. That's so cute.
His back spread eagle.
He's like, hey, Mom, I got to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
He's a cutie.
I would say he's letting him hang, but you took his manhood too. I noticed
they were
earlier.
Popped and chopped.
Yeah.
God, stop saying that.
Sorry, but that's
Chopped
what
and
our
popped.
doctor
So
friend
painful.
called it.
You chop it.
Stop.
All right. So, all right. What are we doing next? Somebody. My
Do you have any
husband
more on,
hates it when I do this.
I have a question.
All right, go.
And if you have a bigger, longer video of what Rubio is saying. And
that pretty much was the video.
But okay, it makes no sense. We hold all the cards, but our preference, like if you hold all the cards, you don't have preferences. That means you're winning and you do what you want. What was that in reference to? I mean, like the straight.
He was talking about the current goals in the war with Iran, and he pretty much just said the current goal is to make everything like it was before the war.
Okay. So what was everything like before the war?
Strait was opened, and he pretty much was saying we hold all the cards and everything, and now the goal is to make everything like how it was before the war. So the Strait was open before the war, then we made it to where it is now, and now to declare victory looks like making it how it was before. Like, what was it?
I just wondered if there was anything else he was alluding to. Because isn't it true that their new dear leader is incapacitated?
Well, they say that, but then now I'm seeing reports that they think he's actually doing all the things behind the scenes wherever he is. So, but yeah, that is the position that victory will look like making the Strait open, which was open before we did the war.
Okay.
There was no other talk about victory looking like the Iranian people are free, or there's not petroleum, uranium. I mean, this is so okay. So Bibi Netanyahu basically came out and said two things yesterday. I think we talked about one. I don't think we talked about the other. One was the war will be over when we say the war is over, which he says the war will be over when they have no uranium or no nuclear capabilities. Okay. I don't think we've said that. So I guess we're still in it until Bibi says we're out. The other thing he said, did y'all hear this where he said he was ready to basically cut the cord with the United States and then be financially independent?
Oh, yeah, that's their position.
We give them $3.8 billion a year in supporting their military. And he said he's ready to be done with that partnership.
Okay.
Isn't that really good?
Yes. I think
that's what we want.
Yeah.
What,
JP?
That's all. Not for the reasons of, I mean, in theory, yes, but they're the ones dictating in terms of we're not going to let y'all have any more leverage over us. Like it'd be one thing if we were like, no more, we're done.
Who gives us money?
Well, no, it'd be no. I'm saying Israel's position. Like that is what Israel is saying. We don't want you to have any more control or hold anything over our heads moving forward.
Fine. Do what you want to do.
That's a whole rabbit trail. I won't. It's too long for right now. But yeah, essentially, he went on 60 Minutes and said that Trump behind the scenes wants to go in and. He said, quote, Trump told me I want to go in and get all the uranium and all the nuclear dust in, that the war is not over. Like, the war has accomplished so much, but as long as the uranium's out there and facilities are still in place, it's not over. And somebody's going to have to go in and take those out.
Wait, you think that we have control over Israel?
Well, no, that is from their, that is the reason they want to, because they see, the critics against what Israel does in the Middle East is that we give you all this money and yet you still are, you still are doing what you're doing and holding control and leverage over us. And their point of reference is, well, fine. And then we can.
So are you nervous of what they'll do if we don't have control?
I am, but also that shows who's really in the driver's seat. If we will stop the flow of money, it's nuanced and complicated, but it just shows like they are in the driver's seat when it comes to funding. And there is the aspect too of they do buy from the military industrial complex. So we do still, like, it's a purchase agreement somewhat. So we do benefit from it to a certain extent. But
so we give them money and they turn around and send it back to us.
We give them that much worth of weapons. They pay for it.
But the
we don't give them cash.
billion
I mean, we don't give them all cash. Like that is how much of weapons we're sending to them, and they are technically purchasing it. So it's a longer conversation, but let's just say it shows, they're in the driver's seat when it comes to their decisions. If they're, well, fine. If the reason is that we, if it's the funding issue, then we'll just stop the funding and we can do whatever we want, and we still drag, so it's
going to be interesting.
I don't like the reasoning. I'll say that.
That's fair. But it will be interesting if they're like, cut the cord, and we're like, cut the cord. Great.
And he wants to wean off it. He said, over time. I think the goal they put out was 10 years. They want to be fully independent from U.S. funding.
So cut the cord, but not quite yet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fun conversation. All right. So, can we just real quickly? We didn't talk about it. The Trump statue.
Oh yeah.
What? It looked like Ronald McDonald
in gold plate.
Yeah, it did. That's what it reminded me of. I was like, is this outside of a McDonald's somewhere?
Is he sitting on a bench with his legs crossed?
No, but he just looked like the Ronald McDonald of childhood, where it was big, tall Ronald McDonald, and it just was a flashback. I don't know why my brain made that association, but she did. I was like, this is silly.
Yeah, the pastors that came out and said, it's not a statue of idolatry. What did they say? Hold on.
Oh, they're always saying something.
Don't worry. It's not a golden calf. All right. Fine. Pretty sure if you have to say it, it is a golden calf. Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's weird. All the Trump worship is weird.
This is very weird.
Like, is he better than Biden? Yeah. Does he have really good ideas and some things? Yeah. But
no,
dude, not a fan.
Like, no.
I like they gave him the little pop belly.
I like the pop belly. Is this supposed to be the fight one?
Yeah.
Is this in West Palm Beach?
Yeah, it's at one of his resorts.
Look, I didn't even know about it till you put it in the news, and then I looked it up, and I'm like, this is just dumb. Like, now, if it's your hometown, okay, perhaps, but gold, casting it in fake gold. Okay. All right, gives me a headache. So, all right. So check that. And then quickly,
check it.
Making Venezuela a 51st state.
Why? Oh, besides their oil.
If we get more oil, great.
But why do we want to take, like, we were trying to send all the crazy criminals back there.
Yeah.
And we were upset when they came here. So why do we want to adopt them?
Well, they do have beautiful women. So.
Okay. Connor's single. Maybe that'll work out.
I mean, there
well.
are hot babes from
JP
Venezuela.
needs a wife.
Yeah, go to Venezuela.
Wait, what? Who has hot women? What have I missed?
You went out of the room for 30 seconds. And now we're bringing in Venezuela so you and Connor can get married.
Oh, I am so in.
Okay.
But what about all their prisoners?
Keep them there.
What prisoners?
Is that funny?
We're just messing with you.
Connor and I, look, we'll go to Venezuela. We'll come back with wives.
Ay.
And we'll be great. We'll be good. That'd be a fun trip.
But if they're the 51st state, then they can just move here to Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go down. We'll find them. We'll bring them back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Leave the prisoners there.
An expedition. I love it.
I just don't know why we want to take on that mess.
I don't think we really do. I think here's how it goes. And then I know we are going to Dr. Tankersley, but I think what happens is Trump gets to his 5th Diet Coke of the day, which is usually kind of late in the afternoon after we're all fried, and he's like getting his second wind. And then it's like he doesn't drink. So it's like drunk texting, but Diet Coke texting. And he just starts saying things. And his people are like, sir, give back the phone. Unhand the phone.
Covfefe.
Yeah, he can't because he's so caffeinated. I think those are caffeine fueled texts.
You think he just gets bored and he's like,
yes,
Let's make Venezuela the 51st state today, JP.
Well, now you know why Melania sometimes, remember when he was elected and we were watching the documentary and just being wowed by her awesomeness. And he asked her if she had seen something. She's like, no, but I will see it later on the news. And you're like, thank goodness for Melania to go, baby, no, I'm not about you 24/7, 365. But I think that mostly, though, even that phone call to ask her if she'd seen him win the presidency, Diet Coke fueled.
I love how he prefaces it all with he's considering it. Like, I'm considering making them a state.
Yeah.
He calls him and says he's considering
Just the second caffeine is splashed down in his body.
Tell
That's when he
everyone
says stuff.
I'm allegedly maybe thinking about it. We're
That's
having
it.
a meeting today, maybe. Allegedly. I don't know. I'm thinking about having a meeting, allegedly maybe, about making Venezuela the 51st state.
It's really good, JP. Look, if Rightside Media goes kaput, you could be a imitator.
Imitator?
Yes. Need to get you a wig, though.
Oh,
He's already on it. He may already have one. You don't know.
Toupee.
That's funny. Okay, so we're going to pivot and have a conversation with our friend, Dr. Stewart Tankersley, who's running for Lieutenant Governor of Alabama. Stewart, how are you today?
I'm doing great. On the road again. Thanks for having me on. Enjoy your show. When I get to catch it, I tell you, it's been a whirlwind the last 3 months, but it's fun.
So, what is being on the road, running for office? What has surprised you the most about your run for Lieutenant Governor?
I think that probably the most important issue to everybody is the lack of trust in the government that I'm addressing. But then the other thing that surprised me is the agriculture commissioners picking up on MAHA and the message that I'm trying to get across with supporting better ways of regaining health.
You kind of went out. What did you say? The ag commissioners were working with you or against you, or what was your comment there?
The candidates for the ag commissioner are picking up on the idea for.
I see what you're saying. So how is MAHA? Is it still alive? Do you think Kennedy is going to be able to do all the things he wants to do? Is he being kind of held back by the administration? What's your take on what's happening?
Well, I think it is miraculous all he has accomplished. And you got to remember that we think of the deep state in D.C. as being the Department of Justice and the War Department. But in actuality, the heart of the deep state goes through the world's biggest agency, HHS. And so the headwinds there are greater than I'd say anywhere else, even though he's doing wonderful work and wanting to do obviously good things that are bipartisanly supported. I mean, the Zogby poll that came out a month ago shows wide bipartisan support on most of the issues. And the media, which is bought and paid for by pharma in large measure, has tried to take the oxygen out of the room with the vaccine issue, which is really not that prominent in all they're trying to do because we've got so much we've got to catch up on. And I think the big message of education that's going to help our local farmers in Alabama and throughout the country are just really, really important. And last week I was interviewed for the farm bill that passed last week on children's health defense. And the farm bill is, I think, $70 billion or something like that. And Big Ag has spent $500 million on it. But there's a reason for that payout, right? But the MAHA efforts are massive, and it's going to make transformative changes for generations if they can keep going, because it is wonderful being a part of that effort. And then, of course, the other issue is the lack of trust that everybody instinctively agrees with on my campaign when I go out and speak. And then that dovetails into the big issue of affordability. And all of that is a perfect example of all of it is Blue Cross's death grip on us in our state with 90% of the coverage of private plans. So I touched on three things, but I think a central point that affects all three is the huge costs of healthcare in our state in particular. And the best example of it, if I could just tell you what Senator Ron Johnson shared in the Investigations Committee a few months ago. Since Obamacare went into effect, the average person's health insurance has gone up 169%. Alabama, that's the average, which is 4.3 times the CPI. Alabama's has gone up 270%. Everybody is getting crushed by Blue Cross in particular. That and the gas tax, of course, impacts everybody. But a $2,000, $3,000 monthly premium, it's unsustainable and people can't afford it.
So could we just stick there for 1 second? Because for the people who don't know, you are a general practitioner in Montgomery, and you have served on several commissions. You know your stuff, especially where healthcare is concerned. Could you please talk to us about why healthcare is so expensive? We understand that Blue Cross has a stranglehold, but why is it? What are things that going into that are making it turn out to be $2,000 to $3,000 a month premium? Why is it 260% increase in Alabama since Obamacare has gone into effect?
Well, I don't know if y'all read the article I wrote for 1819 a couple of weeks ago. That kind of summarized it. And so going back to 2010, when Obamacare was implemented, the purpose of it by its author, by Obama, was to bring about a single-payer healthcare system, socialized medicine. And socialized medicine is a failed system everywhere it's been. We've largely underwritten it in other countries because of the pharma benefits that we've been underwriting their systems by giving them cut rate deals on pharma. That's changing, thank goodness. But Obama intentionally, with his socialist agenda, like I think it was Reagan that said in the 60s, once they have their health care, they have you. And I think that's self-evident. But that was played out in spades during COVID, of course. And as you know, I was the leading voice of sanity in the state against the crap that we all had to endure during COVID. But what the ultimate goal is power and control by the federal government, by socialists that want to take over everything. And there are two mechanisms by which Obamacare was going to force it. Number one was you destroy the middle class, which they're clearly on path to doing. And number two, you create an entity in a geographic area or in a big city that is the monster that is delivery system for the healthcare system. And like in Alabama, clearly the big mule is UAB. And that's what was exemplified in that bill that I wrote about, the article about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Because it's all about control. And if they make everything too expensive, people are just going to say, okay, I guess I got to go with what the government gives me. And so I hope that summary kind of explains what the answer to your question.
Definitely.
You, that's really how I got to know you several years ago when you were so outspoken about the pandemic and COVID vaccines and vaccine injuries and alternative treatments. You and Dr. Jordan Vaughn went through a lot in the state of Alabama and nationally put yourselves kind of on the line to help save lives. In that vein, I have to ask while we have you, this Hanta virus, do we need to all go buy toilet paper or are we good?
Well, I'll always be stocked up, I guess, is my Army saying. But it's fear porn. that played out in spades during COVID. And, you know, who knows whether it's real or not, because Robert Redfield, the former CDC director, said 2 or 3 years ago that they have 80 plus pathogens in the hopper ready to be released. So who knows if this is real or not? But normally, no, you wouldn't have to. But who knows what they've designed and created out of this thing. And it looks like the same thing as monkeypox or the big flu scare of 2 years ago, that they were, you know, more fear porn. But the answer, honestly, is who knows what they've designed. We've got to get rid of gain of function. It's that simple.
Yeah. Seems like just, I mean, I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but it seems just in general not to be a good idea. I'm not sure why we're still doing it.
You know, Redfield was fighting, Dr. Redfield was fighting Fauci for decades before COVID against this kind of stuff.
Yep.
And by the way, I think that today is the day that they've got to file the bill against Fauci to hold him liable. But they got his right-hand man 2 weeks ago, David Morans, and indicted him. And that's going to be a gold mine of evidence against what our government has done to us and the world.
So we have just 60 seconds left. Could you please quickly tell people how to find out more about your campaign? But before that, could you just hit on one or two other things that you want people to know about you and your campaign for Lieutenant Governor?
Right. Thank you so much. I served on the Ethics Commission in 2013 through 17, and we would get perennial reports that Alabama was the 3rd to 6th most corrupt state in the country. And people in Montgomery think this is normal. It is not. And I think I figured out a weak chink in their armor. That's the lieutenant governor, who is the presiding officer of the Senate, who doesn't want to be governor. And so, therefore, I'm not going to abdicate the bully pulpit that I'm given to explain to everybody every week on a podcast what in the world they're doing to us. And I think the biggest issue in our country politically is the lack of trust in our government at all-time lows. And we've got to have people standing up saying, wait a minute, we really don't need to be doing any of this from a position of authority, because, you know, being a podcaster or radio personality, y'all can complain and state the obvious, but when you have political cover like the lieutenant governor is going to do, there's going to be ripples and waves made from my podcast. They're going to be that they're going to have to deal with finally.
Dr. Stewart Tankersley, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you running. That's no small task to take on. I think it's always good when you have a crowded field. I think it pulls people out to have to answer questions, and we will be watching on the 19th. Where did you say where people can find out about your campaign?
Yes. Yes, StewartTankersley.com. And if you go on the different platforms, it's Dr. Stewart Tankersley. And I really do need the support, the financial prayers first, but financial support, because this is vitally important. And I beg the other candidates to take this on, but they just can't do it, I guess, for whatever reason.
Gotcha. Thanks so much for being with us today. Be careful.
Thank
Have a great
y'all.
day. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back with Allegedly. DEI bans, transgender sports ban. Am I missing anything else?
China. You're missing a lot.
China.
Yeah. We've banned property from, you know. Yeah, absolutely.
So do you feel like some people in Alabama have lost sight in all the hubbub and all the chatter that's going on? And what are your priorities for the rest of this session? And maybe, I know y'all plan ahead. It catches me off guard every time. Like, if we're not planning 2 years ahead, y'all have beat us in our, you know, kind of what we want to lobby for in Montgomery. What do you see coming next quadrennium as well?
Yeah, I think you're right. First of all, the first part of your question, I think, you know, it's almost because of the social media and the world we live in today, it's changed. It's almost about what we've done today instead of what we've done over the past quadrennium. And Scott's right. I mean, if you Google the most conservative legislative body in the country, it's going to come up Alabama's number one. And it's because of the bills that you mentioned, a lot of them. I mean, the tax cuts has been $1.5 billion in the last 4 years alone. We've had a tax cut in every session. We got one this session on overtime. So, I mean, it's been a good 4 years. Our body has worked extremely hard. We got good men and women that serve. And Scott was talking about the reason he run for the chairman. I mean, the reason I got in leadership was because we were going through a turmoil when I first got elected, as you remember, with the Hubbard and all that went on with him and the governor and even the Supreme Court justice. That was all at one time within a few months of each other. So the reason I ran at the time is because some of the best people I had ever met, I served with in the House of Representatives. And I thought, if we can give them a platform where we can show the kind of people they are and let people know we serve with good people, and we really do. I mean, Scott and I are both the same way. I mean, there's not a place that I go in this state that I can't pick up a phone and say, listen, my car is broke down. Can you come and help me? And I promise you, within just a period of time, you'd have help from somebody. So that was my intent in getting in and running for leadership to begin with. So I think those people are still serving. Some of the faces change as we go forward. But, our state has been blessed. I mean, we have had the most successful run in economic development in the state's history. We're in the top 5 in shipbuilding, automobiles, airplanes, and now being a Lawston and with the submarine. I mean, we've never seen that before. Research, we're in the top 5. Agriculture, we're actually number 2. I mean, our state is moving at a pace that we have never seen before. And I think sometimes we always wonder what we can do next. But I think we also got to look back and celebrate what we have done too.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk, because it's happening very soon. The closed primary bill came through Matt Simpson's committee. What is the bill exactly, and what are the plans for it?
Yeah, I don't mind talking on this one at all. I think I'll let you talk about the plans for it, and I'll just kind of discuss. So I watched it because we had a public hearing last week. Ernie Arborough is a sponsor, and I think it's time. It's time for us to pick our party lines and pick your teams and support your teams and vet the people that are going to be a part of your team, right? So right now, if you're a Democrat, you can literally participate in our primaries if you want to, right? Basically, if this bill becomes law, when you go and when they ask you after your driver's license, your valid driver's license at the polls, they're going to ask you Republican or Democrat. And whatever you request is you just registered, right? So then we already got a law now that if you do pick a Republican ballot and there's a runoff, you can't flip-flop, right? So if you're a Democrat, you can't vote in our runoffs. That's already law. So we might as well just do it with the primaries as well. But let's say you want to change your mind. 60 days before the next primary, all you do is fill out paperwork and you can change your decision. Now, 60 days was the big question mark. And I found out it's because that's when the absentees were sent out. So that was the only reason why, because 30 days, some thought that had been more appropriate, wasn't feasible just because of the absentee ballots. But I think at the end of the day, we've got different parties. I mean, you picked your sides, you're on the team. I don't see the big deal personally. I think it gives more structure to our party, to each party, to the Democrats and Republicans. Mm-hmm. They don't want us middling in theirs, and we don't want them middling in ours, right? So I just think it's a solid move moving forward for our election integrities.
Do you see it passing the House? And what are the chances in the Senate?
I think we get it through the House. I think there will be conversation. And we've talked about that some. I mean, we've always tried to be, as Speaker with the gavel, we always try to be amenable to both sides, in a debate. And I know that we'll probably have a lot of debate on the bill. After a period of time, we'll move forward. If we have to cloture, we will. I do think we'll be able to get it out of the House. I'll be surprised if we don't. Of course, we'll go into caucus meeting tomorrow. We'll have a better idea where everybody stands and what they're thinking. And that's when they get a chance to hear whatever they have to say, good, bad, or ugly. And so we'll get to see that tomorrow and have a good idea. But I feel good about it. I think we can get out of the House. And one thing for sure, we'll know Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Let's look ahead to a Governor Tuberville administration. Those are big changes that are on the horizon. Talk to us about what you guys hope will happen. what kind of changes, what kind of legislation? I know we want to keep on this path, but what else?
Yeah, I mean,
Welcome back. Hi.
Baba yesterday with his mellow yellow.
It was front and center.
Me with my, I feel very Candace Owensy when I do this, but I got to drink my water. Actually, I mixed in some Monster in this one.
Yeah, you did. That was quite a bit of Monster you put in there, Sinclair.
I made sure to
I'm
get
ready
you,
for allegedly.
I made sure to get you 3.
I know. I keep them hidden in my
I
car
looked
so
for
nobody else can drink
a
them.
pink one for you yesterday at the Publix, and they didn't have them. So sorry.
Shame.
Okay, guys, it's that time. It is time for allegedly.
Allegedly.
Who would like to go first?
Me.
Go ahead.
All right.
Let me get my glasses. Wait, no, that's not the right voice. Red leather, yellow leather. What is it you do?
Red leather.
Yellow leather,
Yellow leather.
blue leather.
Leather. I don't know.
Okay. So, y'all, I don't know. You remember Brandon Mosley?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, our friend Brandon.
Yes,
Well, he wrote
Ophelia.
this story. This was just a few days ago. It says, Dark Money Gambling Fund closes down mail account. That's MAIL, not MALE, which I feel like sometimes we need to clarify when we're talking about politics. Well, straight out of Chelsea, Alabama, not too far from here, it says the mailboxes of Republican primary voters across Alabama are stuffed full of glossy, double-sided ads touting candidates. The American Conservative Fund is a dark money super PAC that was suddenly created this year with money entirely from out-of-state gambling syndicate DraftKings. Not the Queens, we got the Kings. Well, the American Conservative Fund's mailer pieces give the return address of 60 Chelsea Corners. Well, Brandon decided to go to 60 Chelsea Corners, and he ended up at a postnet. Do you know what a postnet is?
Is that like that business where you can send your post all things?
I think it's a blend of like post office and internet, because you can do postnetting.
Oh, that
you can
makes
post
perfect
and
sense.
net,
Thanks,
kind of like
Ophelia.
Bubba was talking about. You know, that
Yes.
internet is
Yes.
there. Well, so they do private mailbox renting. Oh gosh, now my Southern's kind of switching. All right, I'm gonna go back. So
Watching too much Bridgerton.
I need it's getting a little, it is.
It's getting a little dicey.
It's just wait. I'll be speaking Russian by the end. All right. So the clerk told the Alabama Gazette, aka Brandon Mosley, that he did not know anything about the man that owned that mailbox or the American Conservative Fund or DraftKings. He said that all he knew was that the man had rented a virtual mailbox through them from iPostal, and that they had mailed out a huge amount of direct mail pieces, and that he had closed his account. The man in the shadows running the American Conservative Fund has disappeared back into the shadows in an attempt to keep his identity hidden from anyone who asks questions about his dark money activities. Well, the fact that the American Conservative Fund appears to have violated legal required campaign finance reporting. Y'all, I just don't know how anything's secret here in Alabama. I mean, there are private investigators I know working their tails off down in Montgomery and across the state. Why they can't figure out who this man is, I don't know. But he came in and he closed his account at the postnet.
You
Chelsea
don't
Corners.
say.
Yeah, I don't know. So I guess their work is done. And we shall see if all those like $26 million move the needle. And then I go, you know what? I don't even know what the point is, because allegedly Tommy Tuberville is going to bring gambling to the state when he gets in office anyway. So why are you spending all that money? Why? At least go play some slot machines for hours for that.
Ophelia.
Yes, ma'am.
and our young man Virgil, I have noticed something, and I would like to bring a remonstration against it. Y'all remember that is our word of the day, remonstrate. And it's to
Sounds
protest
wrong.
or bring opposition to. And I am in opposition to something I've noticed. And it has been weeks and weeks of notice, and maybe even 6 months. But I've noticed that there are people among us, and it even happens on the Twitters and the Instagrams and the Facebooks, that there are people who like to do vague posting. Do
Is
you
that
know
like
what I mean?
Knitting?
Well, it's funny you brought up Postnet, but it's just randomly, like, I don't know if y'all have noticed it, but sometimes I've noticed people on the socials will just say something and they'll make you try to figure out who they gossiping about. And so maybe they think it ain't gossip if they don't actually say the person's name, they just gossiping. And then they acting like they's above the law in the gossiping and they self-righteous. And so in the gossiping, as they're self-righteous, they're real obtuse. You know, that like opaque where you can't see quite through it like glass. You just can sort of see through it. And I just noticed that I just thought, that's just ridiculous. And I just don't enjoy it. And I just didn't know if y'all noticed the vague, obtuse, sort of opaque posting, trying to say some grand things, never associate names with it. Sometimes it's after things we done said on the show. Other times it's just randomly because maybe we done did a video or maybe somebody else out in the socials did it too. And I just wondered if they thought we didn't know because we think it's hilarious and also a little bit ridiculous. But I just didn't know. I just didn't know, y'all. If it was just me, and maybe it's just me, and I'm fine. I've reached that age where one day I woke up and I said, I don't care. And I wondered if I was alone.
You are not.
You are not alone. You're never alone.
Thank you.
You always
Ophelia.
have us. By the way, your arm is so soft.
Well,
I'm serious. What is that?
It's just my skin.
It's so soft.
I'm Jovi Ray, and I like to use different tinctures and stuff. But
Well, I need some of your tincture, but I did notice it. But you know what's
Okay.
funny?
What's that?
Is I never assume it's about me. I just think of all the other people I don't like, and I say it must be about them.
Oh, that's a better way to look at it because
Yeah.
I struggle, on that day, and I woke up and I said, I don't care anymore. And it did happen. Clarence Thomas's wife warned me 13, 14 years ago. She said, honey, one day you're going to wake up and just go, I don't care. And so that's probably a better way to look at it. It's more generous and charitable.
Well, I don't know.
It's like a fruit of the
any
spirit
better.
to do. It's the least nefarious reason you think it's probably about somebody else. But then I look and I think, well, dang, that sounds awful close to something we just said. But it could just be something else randomly in the water, and that's just okay. That's okay if that's the way that people need to get it out. They don't all have
Let it go.
microphones like we do. And I know we should be serious, but sometimes I just don't feel like it. And I just wondered if it was just me.
I don't know. It makes me have to go. I'm not Catholic, but if I was, I'd be going to a lot of confession
Yes.
because I think of all the terrible things that all those other people do when I come across those vague posts.
Yes.
And I just start applying it and applying it and applying it to all these people around me. And then I think, well, I don't really know that. I haven't seen it. And, here's the thing. Sometimes you shouldn't assume people's motives or assume
So
exactly
true.
what's going on.
Oh, praise the Lord. I am so convicted. Yes, ma'am.
And so I have to stop myself and go, I shouldn't assume that the way I'm interpreting this is reality. And so that assumption, you know what they say, if you
It's true.
assume things,
It's true.
it makes a big old ass out of you and me.
Yeah, it does. And
It's
yet
not a good look,
sometimes in my
especially when you're heifer
53,
already.
well, I'm a heifer already. And in my 53 years, though, the problem is so often I go back and I go, well, dadgummit, I was right.
Oh,
So it's hard. Because I know what it says about making an house out of you and me. I know you're right, Allison. Ophelia, I know you're right. But just sometimes things happen over and over again. And I think, is this the spirit of discernment? Or should I just let it go?
Well, even if you do discern that it's about you, after that, you just let it go.
Thank you, Ophelia. I knew you'd set me straight.
You just let it go and let it go. Let it go. Don't worry about it no more. I can't even remember the words. Yeah, you just let it go.
Okay.
Release it to the universe.
Thank you, Ophelia. Virtual, what you got for us?
I will say this.
Speechless.
Sorry, I will say this about
Save us.
about the vague posting.
Yes, sir.
I hate vague posting, and there's oftentimes I know when somebody is talking about me, I know, and they won't say it, but they do it in a snarky tone, and they think they're smart when they're really not. However, there are times I have to catch these two heifers because somebody will vague post and say something, and they immediately assume, and I'll go on, and I have to say, now, listen. How do we know they're talking about you? And then, I mean, they typically respond with something like that. And I hear you. I know. Okay, I know. But don't assume, don't jump to conclusions. And then they'll say something like that. And I'm like, okay, we have lost control. So, and then I just jump into the assuming with them and say, you know, I'm with you.
If you can't beat them, you join them.
Listen, we have a PhD in jumping to conclusions. That is our spiritual gift. But thank you, Virgil, for reminding us that is, you know, who we are when we do jump to conclusions.
I would like to identify as something new.
Oh, okay.
This is just the best.
Okay.
I think we should be Venezuelan heifers.
Oh, we have a big old juicy heifers. Who say things like afuera.
Afuera.
But in cow language.
Oh, they're back.
Virgil.
Yes.
Virgil.
Oh, Lord.
Sir, what do you
Save
have
us.
for us?
Okay. Well,
It's the best day of the week.
I have to confess, there was a store that I contemplated doing allegedly on. However, I fear this may just be a Candace Owens
Stop.
or obsession with not much evidence. I saw a report. Now, when I went and looked around, the reports are from the tinfoil hat wearing Candace Owens crowd people. So I'll just say what I almost did my allegedly on was that allegedly Erica Kirk and Andrew Colvett, the executive producer of the Charlie Kirk Show, were allegedly having an affair. And Andrew Colvett's wife apparently has filed for divorce, with that being the reason. And I will say this, though. I'll bring up Andrew Colvett's response to such allegations on the Twix. This account called Project Constitution. He put out this bombshell report. However, people have been rumoring this for months, apparently, allegedly. He put out the tweet and said that she's been filing for a divorce, and this is why. And I'll read you what he commented. He said, "LOL, you wish, fat boy. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth and off your feed, or you'll have more problems than you bargained for." And then said, "To everyone else, happy Mother's Day."
Oh, no, I appreciate that, Virgil. That is a kick fanny response.
That's what he said. So, initially my thought was, well, if there's nothing to it, then why'd you say LOL, you wish, fat boy? That's what he said. But also,
I think Andrew Culver is like us. He's our people.
Is he from the South? Where's he from?
I think he's from Arizona.
But I mean, I don't know. Is that the best way to respond?
I don't think that puts your case to rest. I think that just adds fuel to the fire.
Oh.
But I will say it's a Candace Owens,
It's funny.
insane tangent. And until we have more evidence, I don't even know if it's true that she filed for a divorce. That's just what people at Candace Owens
Can't
is saying.
you find court? We have so many private investigators around the state of Alabama. We should hire one to do some looking and some snoopsing.
Maybe so.
Because can't you read? Can't you? You can read. You can cook. Can't you find out those papers? Maybe in Nashville, where they live.
They're in Arizona.
Oh, in Arizona. So look at just typing cat.
Where do you even go?
You go to the divorce in place.
Yeah, you just go to the World Wide Web,
the files of divorce,
and you just type it in and see if it's true. If any court filings have happened.
Say, Andrew Colvert.
But I bet he says it with the French flair, Colvet.
What about Culver's?
Oh, that is a delicious place for burgers and ice cream.
Some cheese curds.
Oh, boy. We should eat there sometime soon. Just only do cheese curds and maybe one of their concrete or whatever they call those suckers.
Some curds and crete.
So curds and crete with some cookie dough in it. Anyway,
sorry,
what else you got?
Taking me down a rabbit trail.
Okay, well, we can come back to it tomorrow. I do hate to spread rumors if they aren't true.
Yes.
But this is true.
Well, he did call him a fat man.
Yeah, he did say, "LOL, you wish, fat boy." He did say that.
Fat boy. That's even
alleged.
worse.
That's funny. My son-in-law says fat boy, and that makes me laugh every time he says it.
But this is not alleged. This is real. Well, it is alleged. It's real if somebody's saying something alleged. But y'all see Lane Kiffin is in the news?
No, I did not.
Oh, Lane Kiffin is a burnt biscuit.
Did you see this?
I did. So please tell everyone.
Lane Kiffin, the now coach for LSU, the Tigers, he went to Vanity Fair and he explained his decision on why he left Ole Miss for LSU.
That's where manly men go.
Vanity Fair.
To do their writing.
Now, he claims that part of the reason why he left Ole Miss to go to LSU was because, quote, Ole Miss's struggle to distance itself from symbols like the Confederate flag, Colonel Rebel, and the nickname Ole Miss itself. Now, this is where the alleged comes in, and I'm going to have to call BS on this. He says when he was coaching there, Kiffin says top recruits would tell him, "Hey, coach, we really like you, but my grandparents aren't letting me move to Oxford." And it said that, because of the Confederate flag or the symbolism with Colonel Rebel, he said that doesn't show up when you go to Baton Rouge. He said parents were sitting there this weekend saying that the campus's diversity feels so great. It says, quote, "It feels like there's no segregation." That's what he said the parents said about LSU. Now, here's two things about this. First of all, I don't think that any parents were coming to Lane Kiffin or grandparents were coming to Lane Kiffin about concerns about it. It is 2026. I don't think there's any real concerns about sending their kids to an SEC school. It's not 1950s Mississippi. So I'm going to call baloney on this. But also, if you're claiming that parents are concerned about the racism in Mississippi, do you think Louisiana will be any better? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. But what is y'all's takes on this Lane Kiffin claiming that was part of his decision to leave Ole Miss?
So I just want to make sure I understand that he's saying at Ole Miss, even though he loved the ladies there, that some of the people he tried to recruit to come to Ole Miss didn't want to come to Ole Miss because old rebel, yeah, hotty toddy. They thought it felt real swampy.
Yes, and the Confederate flag still being in the Mississippi flag or was.
I call Oscar Mayer baloney. Thick sliced with little pieces of cheese in it.
That's mighty specific.
Oh, gross.
It is gross. And so is this assertion by Burnt Biscuit Lane Kiffin.
I think he's in for a rude awakening because I can't imagine that it was that bad at Ole Miss. What did I do? Anywho, and so I just think he's just making stuff up. Hasn't really been in the media lately. And why the heck you go to Vanity Fair? I mean, at least go to GQ. Heck, how about you go to I don't know, somewhere where they don't wear skirts to do your media bidding. That's what I would say. Maybe he's becoming a liberal. Maybe he's transitioning. Allegedly. Anywho, I think in LSU, they just are in the closet about it still. They might not have the flags, but it's just, I don't think it's going to be that much better. But here's the thing, Lane, it's not bad. It's really not. And if you're experiencing racism in 2026, maybe you the racist.
Allegedly.
Ooh. Allegedly.
I said it.
Yeah, you did.
Because I don't really think anybody else is, besides Wanda and Gavan, nobody's really thinking about it.
I'll add another leg to this allegedly. Did y'all see these former these former NFL players and these podcasters are calling on players not to go to SEC schools and to transfer out of these SEC football programs because of this redistricting push, which is insane to me.
Maybe. I think you just landed on top of something, Virgil. Look. I actually think, I take it back. It's not that we would lose economic business and workforce in Alabama. It's that we would lose our players if we go 7-0.
Oh my goodness. Ophelia, I think you're right.
Tell me I'm smart.
You are smart, Ophelia. You are smart. Yeah, because really, otherwise you'd have to call like a hot ham loaf on them. Filled with olives.
In that case, if we're going to lose, if the Auburn Tigers are getting worse, I'm good with 6-1. Let's just stay at 6-1.
Can you imagine the scene?
I'm going to throw this pin at you if you're not careful, Virgil.
No. Imagine this scene on the House floor of one representative, maybe a newbie, maybe somebody who's not in the loop, and he goes to the floor and says, "We need a 7-0." And the veteran representative says, "Oh, whoa, come here." He grabs him by the shoulders and says, "Brother, we need our team on the plains. They're struggling. And we're going to lose some 5-star recruits if we pass this 7-0 map. Now, keep that in mind before you go." He responds and says, "Sir, I'm a Tide fan. I don't give a rip what fan you are. We're all in this boat together. We're all going down this ship in the football programs if we pass the 7-0 map. Now you go keep your mouth shut, or we will shut it for you." And then that's where we go from there.
I'm pretty sure that's how it actually works.
I think you actually right, Ophelia and Virgil. I think that is exactly what we're dealing with. And no wonder people are getting so fussy when we're pushing back on them, because they're like, really, y'all should just see it. It's obvious. It's obvious. It's all about football. It's football. That's all this is about.
And I mean, so I'm good. Let's just stick with 6-1.
That's the real question. If you knew your team was going to lose some recruits, are we still going to be gung-ho for a 7-0?
Well, I think I declare we may need to rethink it.
It's funny you say gung-ho, because I came up with a slogan that I was about to start on Twitter last night. Do you know what it was?
No, what is it?
Don't be a hoe. Go 7-0.
No way.
Ophelia,
I'm serious.
That was so
put it
creative.
out in a text message, and they thought it was funny, but they said I probably shouldn't post it.
You
instead told the world.
You've been listening to too much Wanda Lingavan and the Dear White People.
I mean, I thought it was pretty funny.
Don't be a hoe. Go 7-0.
I was good. Or Jamel. Yeah, he'd been like Jamel. That's something he done say too.
That needs to be its own little clip. Oh, y'all, I had fun. This was my favorite. It really is my favorite day of the week when we do the allegedlys. Kind of like the internets and the Walmarts. It just is, it feels so nice to talk about all these things. And just, I mean, we're just asking questions. We're just talking.
That's all we do. And this is just the beauty
just
shop
asking
of
questions.
old.
Yeah, we're just,
You know, we don't know anything for sure. Obviously, you know that from me. We don't know for sure. We're just putting it out there into the ether and deciding.
you know what? I just was sitting here talking. I was about to take us out and I couldn't figure out why the music wasn't coming on.
Oh, we still got 4 minutes.
Oh, what are we going to do? What are y'all doing tonight?
What we doing tonight?
Y'all got plans?
Yeah, I'm packing so I can go out of town.
Oh, I forget you going to be gone.
I mean, you know how you do before you go out of town, and by the time you get in your car to leave and you put the key in the ignition or actually press the button now, you just go, what am I even doing?
What have I left? What didn't I do? I've been packing for weeks.
Yeah, just that. That's what I'm doing.
You want to know when I start my packing for trips?
The morning of, just like my kids.
I mean, the night before, maybe.
Yeah. Listen, I'm a night before because, you know, you travel, but then my kids are the day of.
I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you pack,
yes, ma'am.
Are you, I bet I know how this is going to go. Do you like fold all your things perfectly and you've got your outfits together and then you roll them so they don't crease and then everything has its own compartment, or do you just kind of throw it all in? Are you a thrower or a folder?
I'm a folder, but I'd like to tell you that my daughters are the rollers. They are the one. Emmy Shaver is a packer extraordinaire. She's the one who knows how to pack, but I can't quite commit myself to the rolling. But I do have compartments and stuff. But I'm not that crazy. Yeah. Yet.
JP, how about you?
What do you think?
You're just a thrower.
Well, I try. I try to fold. It typically ends up just being throwing. You know, I try to be nice. Here's how it goes. I try to pick out my outfits for each day. And I go through my head, you know, get my outfits, and I go, shucks, I forgot to put socks and or whatever in there. And I go, well, shucks, I forgot this too. And then it all gets jumbled into a mess and it's no longer clean and folded in an order. So I go, you know what? We're just throwing them all in there. And then we zip it up. And that's how it goes. I try to fold and it doesn't work.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Who in your family is an overpacker?
My sister.
Your sister? How about you? Who's an overpacker?
Definitely Jennings.
Oh, hey, Bo.
Hey, what is he doing? He has lost his mind.
I think our friend is here.
Good news. He knows our friend. He's met him before. So surely he won't eat him.
I hope not.
Well, I have to know if y'all think I'm a folder or a...
You're a thrower.
Really?
No, you're a roller. You're efficient packer. I think you're efficient. Are you efficient?
Well, efficient is different. So I'm such a thrower.
Are you a thrower?
Like there is no, and when I'm packing, I make piles and Jared will come in and be like, you need to put your clothes away. And I'm like, that's my organization. Don't know what you're talking about. Y'all, I literally going to the lake house last weekend, had a Walmart bag with my book and all my toiletries and everything in it. I almost sent y'all a picture because it was my overnight bag.
I love you so much more.
Actually, Carson can tell you about that. Yeah. I travel light. We are not packing and we are not folding and we are not fluffing. Y'all, we'll see you tomorrow. I think we have some guests. Who we have?
We got Pamela Casey. We got
Terry LaPointe.
Terry LaPointe.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And anybody else, you just never know.
Y'all, please make good choices tonight and stay on the right side. We'll see you tomorrow.